Coming up next, Frodan's featured match. I promise we'll be more engaged. Coming up next, we have Frodan's featured match. It's Nalgadon versus Gallon. Take a look at this clip that Gallon had for us yesterday.
I'm calling you out now, Gidon. I think your attitude to losing is really bad. You say a lot of stuff like, oh man, I got unlucky, my Dr. Boom was bottom 10 or whatever, and you don't look at where you messed up. You only look at variance that like may have caused, some slight unluckiness, but there's always rooms in games like that to play better, and you should be looking at that to improve rather than just saying, oh, my opponents got lucky. And it happens without fail every single time he loses. There's a tweet about it where he says, I got so unlucky, and it's just, I feel like it's a little bit blind to how to improve at the game. So shots fired. I'm coming for you tomorrow. Don't say you got unlucky when I beat you.
All right. Don't say you got unlucky when I beat you. Let's go, Gallon. That's what we want to hear. I want to hear those. Oh, I'm so sad. I might get relegated. Yeah, of course it's very sad, but I want people
drama
taking out specific targets. I see that homing missile coming in from Virginia, I think he is, all the way to Argentina. I want some nuclear warfare, metaphorically speaking, within Hearthstone Grandmasters.
Yeah.
And I think,
me too.
And I think Nalgadon, he actually even responded to Gallon with a series of social media posts on Twitter. First of all, it's a friendly rivalry. Nalgadon says, American GMs right now, playing the third match to prove either that I'm good or that I'm unlucky, Kappa. I think that's a really funny, tongue-in-cheek way to acknowledge it.
It's a good take on the situation, right? Because Gallon called him out and said, your attitude's in the wrong place. Your record's good. Your play doesn't reflect it. And when you do have bad beats or when you do misplay, you're blaming it instead on your draws, which, for the most part, I kind of agreed with what Gallon was saying. I think that attitude is unhealthy, and I think that Nalgadon had a string of tweets yesterday basically saying, like, it's hard for people outside of the players' minds or, the players' personal lives to get a glimpse into what they have to go through, with the other responsibilities they have in their life, what their practice looks like, how much time and effort they do put in. And Nalgadon feels like he might be a little bit unfairly represented, that he does put in a lot of time and he does put in a lot of practice, but he
does
aren't
also
reflected.
complain a lot.
Yes, and at the very end of that string of tweets, most of which I agreed with, he then doubled down on the Dr. Boom line, which I was like, no, it was all good up until that point. Don't double down. Say your piece.
It was the longest preface before he said, but I was.
But I was really unlucky. He said, don't judge me. There's a lot of things going on. I practice hard. Sometimes it's not reflected.
Yeah, walk a mile in the other person's shoes before you judge them.
But I was really unlucky.
That being said, Dr. Boom is in the bottom 5 cards of the deck, man.
How do you come back from that? Let's get into it. Gallon, Priest game 1, Nalgadon, I'd call it a read here. Says, I'm going to queue Warrior. I'm going to take a slight risk here and say, I'm going to get this Priest.
He protected Warrior, banned Druid. That's a very common strategy. You protect and you ban whatever is the worst matchup against your deck that you protect. He protected, or Gallon rather, protected Priest and banned Priest quickly. Because his worst matchup after the Warrior is the Priest, according to Gallon. Nalgadon has a Spellbreaker. He's got the Restless Mummy. I'm looking at the way things are panning out. And with that Wild Pyromancer draw, I think that was a really important pickup here for Gallon, but he doesn't have another way to get the damage down for the Circle of Healing. Because what ends up happening is that Priest runs out of cards and then Warrior just removes stuff. Nalgadon with the Spellbreaker, though, shut down the early Cleric is massive.
Yep. Maybe you're supposed to hold on to the Power Shield in that instance.
He didn't have Pyromancer in hand, though. His hand was Power Shield, Nephicent Ritualist, and Circle of Healing.
Yeah, the Wild Pyromancer came off Power Shield.
Yes.
But maybe the argument's still there. Is it necessary to bring this Northshire Cleric up to 7 health?
Probably not. Maybe just beaming Psychic and that's it.
Yeah. It's mana efficient, but, I don't blame Gallon for making this play. I think, he played his mana. He drew a card. His hand wasn't good. He needed to make it better, so he wanted to draw a card with Power Word Shield. That's the reason behind it.
Agreed.
But it's our job, Dan, as commentators of this beautiful game, to be 100% results-oriented and blame the players for things that are out of their control.
Gallon, how could you? Now Gadon can take out both minions, the Wild Pyromancer and the 1/2.
Followed up with a Spellbreaker.
Important draw here for Gallon. Finally able to get some tempo and also draw a card.
This injured Blade Master is going to have to go a long way.
In the light's name.
Another Light Warden makes the Militia Commander have a target, but now Nagidon can use a Spellbreaker here instead. I think part of him is worried about giving the Cleric value of card draw. That was the big reason why he Restless Mummy traded and did not allow the Cleric to have an easy target. Clerics only work with minions, so by not playing any minions that could get damage or will get damage on either side is important. A lot of times I've seen players, still to this day, TJ, when I climb the legend and I play the Cleric, sometimes they totem, or they that Paladin hero power. But the totem one hurts the most because they think, oh, you can't draw a card, but you attack their totem, their 0/2 totem, and you heal it. Yeah, it's any minion.
Gives you a little bit more gas against Doomsayer, too. In a world where an Earthshark Cleric would otherwise just die, you attack the Doomsayer, heal, at least get one card out of it before it meets its fiery doom.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Neferset Ritualist. Opportunity for Gallon to trade and heal and push damage.
Yep.
He is very safe against the Dynamatic.
Yep.
But he's not that resilient against the Brawl. And
No.
the Brawl will feel like it gets to the critical ranges where Gallon would have to get Zombie or bust.
I do think that to an extent when you're playing Priest against Warrior, you have to kind of disrespect their removal a little bit. You have to just hope they don't have it in a lot of circumstances. Because if you hold back, it just gives them more time to find those things. And it isolates your minions on board for things like Dynamatic or Restless Mummy. So you play around stuff within reason.
Yep, and Gallon does have a couple targets that are good to survive.
Like the injured Blade Master.
I mean, Lightborn was also scary. Oh. Oh.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. Now, how much do you go in?
Job's done.
All the
Oh,
way
yeah.
in.
4 arms.
All the way in.
Shield Slam. Ah! Just out of range! Wait, he doesn't even have mana to do it anyway. Double Shield Slam. Double Shield Block, Shield Slam.
You've seen a Neferset Ritualist, and you have a Plague of Wrath in hand. Which means there's merit to damaging this, because you don't want to get blown out of the game by Inner Fire as well. Like a health buff plus Inner Fire, you can consider that. Maybe not Neferset Ritualist as much, but it looks like no matter what the situation is, Gallon is an Inner Fire away from lethal.
Yeah, or a Topsy-Turvy.
Or a Topsy-Turvy.
2 out of 19. The way Priests have been drawing feels like inevitability. Injured Tolvir comes into the hand. That's big.
But now the question is, trade in Neferset Ritualist or push face damage?
Push face damage. Push face damage. The way that you could get punished, though, is Zilliax.
Looks like it's push face damage.
It is. The push face damage is actually fairly important, too, because it stops Nagidon from being able to Shield Slam and then play Plague of Wrath. Another thing to consider, too, is by pushing face damage, yes, your opponent might be able to find some way to remove it, but unless they specifically have Warpath and Plague of Wrath, which, by the way, would kill his own opponent's minion, too.
Yeah.
he still has minions left over for the Divine Spirit Interfire to follow up. He's putting his opponent down to 6 life, or 8 life, rather.
Yep. Like the play.
And Divine Spirit Interfire should be enough. Now, Nagidon still has more counterplay. He has the shield block, shield slams. In fact, I'd argue that Nagidon might want to use both shield slams right now.
That's a full clear, actually. Shield slam, armor up, double shield slam clears everything but the 2/3 ritualist. That is a very good turn for Nagidon.
Yeah, and Gallon's kind of escaped through a lot of removal outside that brawl. And remember, that Interblade match was surviving was a huge moment. Now he's stuck on a Bonsomdi plan. Psycho Pop!
Oh,
The end begins.
it's your Blade Master.
That is tough. Nagidon's not out of it, but it's looking very tough so far.
Yeah, I mean, he's a Warpath draw away from essentially closing out this game, and he's got a lot to fight back with.
So Snip Snap and Ziliax. Something that I first look at right here.
Snip Snap and Ziliax.
What now?
Another alternative, if you're feeling frisky, is to save that. Instead, play Snip Snap and Militia Commander, and then place Ziliax on the following turn. Actually, no, hold on. Back up.
Back up. Okay.
We want to be able to use Plague of Wrath for the final hit, right?
What
Yes.
now?
So if you play Snip Snap this turn, there's a high chance that you'll be able to get the 1/1 to attack in and then use Plague of Wrath.
So Snip Snap is 100%.
Yes, it's all about what we want to play with it. So either Militia Commander or Ziliax.
I think you just play as safe as possible with Ziliax.
Precision. Reflection.
If you have a near guaranteed clear next turn, you just put yourself in the best position to have the highest life total after that. And you got to attack into something because you don't want to play into silence. There's been a card that Gal's been holding on to.
Oh, it's bad news.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks like Warrior's going to gain 10 life this turn.
I must consider.
Oh, Divine Spirit. And that's a pretty powerful Plague of Wrath coming in here.
Yeah, Plague of Wrath into Militia Commander. Or into just one of these 1/1s
Yes.
attacking in. And it looks like Gallon is not really going to have a chance here.
Yep. And a lot of things went pretty well for the Priest. They had Cleric on 1. They had Injured Blade Master get revived and even survive the brawl. But despite that, Priest kind of getting shut down here. I am firmly a believer in Eddie's camp. I think Warrior shuts down the Priest. People make believe like this class has absolutely 0 weaknesses. And even if he found the Inner Fire, there was no point in which Gallon would be able to close the game except for that one turn where there wasn't a taunt.
Yeah. Gallon gonna play for some kind of Bwomsamdi into High Priest of Met scenario. He's seen Plague of Wrath in a brawl, so there's still a very slim chance.
You have bet.
But after seeing 2 more than that chance effectively goes to 0 because it's unlikely he'll be able to push through a minion. Nagidon takes game 1. The Warrior Q paying off.
That's right. The strategy is paying huge dividends, and now people who are really dependent on the Protect Priest, Q Priest first, starting to show a little weakness.
Yep.
And I'm all for that. As much as Gallon's my buddy, and I wish success for him, it's a little bit nice to watch a little smackdown come down on what people are complaining about. I see a lot of complaints on Twitter about Priest. Like, you know what? There's people that can complain about it, and there's people that'll do something about it.
Yeah, and Nagidon saying in the past 2 days, the vast majority of players protect Priest Q at first. And if they're just going to keep doing that and go for that level 1 that Firebat talked
so
about,
obvious.
punish them.
Yeah. All right, we're going to take a break. When we come back, Nagidon has an opportunity to close it out 2-0 and prove that he's good. or unlucky.
The shadows are rising again, darker than they've ever been. As evil descends from the skies, the world cries out, how will we survive? Out of the hall of explorers, and up from the dusty tombs, they grab their whips and fedoras. These legends of the past know exactly what to do. There might be magic monsters, mummies in the markets, and ancient mysticism. There's surely scorching deserts, adventure, monster of narcissism. High stakes think annihilation, obliteration of civilization. Now is the time to be brave. Evil's come to enslave, but this league's gonna save the world.
My name is Sam Braithwaite, and I'm the Senior Global Franchise Lead for Hearthstone Esports. This event was especially cool because it takes place right after the brand new expansion, Rise of Shadows. Historically in Hearthstone Esports, we do our big events like this towards the end of an expansion cycle, but we really wanted to shake things up and really showcase that not only is the world champion the person who can pilot the best decks, but also the person who, when presented with a brand new game, can put together the best decks leading into the World Championship. Cheers to you guys, the sold-out crowd here for the HCT 2019 World Championship.
Welcome back to 2019 HCT World Championship.
We've had a lot of fun games, and we're looking forward to the grand finals.